It's the left versus the right. In the right corner, Dominic Carter. In the left corner, it's Anthony Weiner. Now, to the Bernard McGurk Studios, it's a 77 WABC debate. The melee in the metropolis.
So welcome to another episode of Left versus Right. Anthony Weiner on your left, Dominic Carter on your right. Dominic, before we get started, apparently the kids are into this show. TikTok, we're blowing up on TikTok. We don't even mention it, and still we're out there.
Are you surprised?
I'm a little bit surprised, but apparently the algorithm loves skinny Jewish guys and black guys arguing with each other. Apparently they love it. But the funny thing is, the social media guys here at 77 WABC says, whatever you do, don't read the comments. And so I'm going to take that advice. I don't know what they're saying about you, but they're probably not saying great things about me. But let's hop right in.
Hey, yes, everybody's entitled to an opinion.
That's right.
So one of the raps that I get, right, on social media and on the radio, people don't like that I'm nice to you. I don't get that.
Well, if you're ever nice to me, I'll take note of it.
I'm nice to you every week.
Yeah, well, I've told you before, you know, my mom, who's a listener, she says, I like it when you guys say something nice to each other at the end of the show, kind of like when you used to fight with your brothers and you'd make up at the end of the day, that kind of thing. So, my brother, let's start with an update on an issue that was about a year ago. The new president of Columbia University takes over. A year later, she says, I've had it. I'm out of here. The Gaza protests, how she responded to them. She chose to go to Congress and say, you're right, we got to crack down. She called in the cops, and apparently that was not the thing that was going to help her survive this. She's out this week. I think you kind of saw this coming, didn't you?
Yes, but I don't buy the way that you set this up. What I think happened was that she's out because she didn't crack down sooner. I think that she I'm going to be completely honest with you. So she's going to a job with the British government, right?
Yeah, I didn't see where she's going, yeah.
All right. I'm starting to wonder whether or not, on a personal level, she sided with the pro-Palestinian, in her heart of heart, the pro-Palestinian protesters. Because anybody in their right mind, Lee Bollinger would have never tolerated this happening at Columbia, the last president, the way it's gone down. Any president in their right mind would have said, Jewish kids are afraid to go to class.
Right.
We've got to clamp this down.
But a whole bunch of guys got in trouble for being too easy on protesters. But what she got in trouble for was going before Congress, learning from the other people, agreeing with the members of Congress that we have to protect people. We're going to crack down. She got in trouble with her faculty for calling the NYPD onto campus, which is something you thought was the right thing to do. I guess I kind of think is the right thing to do. At a certain point, you cannot let you cannot let people trespass. But she got in trouble for being too tough. Yeah, I got to tell you something. Being a college president nowadays, you're going to get it from either side no matter what you decide to do.
I don't know if I buy that the faculty was greatly upset with her. So you want to have open unrest on campus?
They say college campuses, you shouldn't have cops coming onto campus. That's what they argue.
Okay, well, if you have out-of-control animal protesters doing despicable things, what's the alternative?
What's an animal protester?
An animal protester are these vile protesters that were up at Columbia that were looking to start a riot-type situation to antagonize law enforcement, security.
I think it's a no-win situation. By the way,
it is a win situation. You do the right thing.
You have the cops come on campus and then
Day one.
Okay. You have campus. What do you mean day one?
Day one. You break the rules. This is what happens. You act up. I act up.
So
it's real simple.
Someone goes on campus and they're wearing a sandwich board saying "End apartheid now." What do? You arrest them? No. I mean that happens all the time.
No.
What is day one in your mind?
Day one is the moment you cross the law legally. The moment you put up an encampment, the moment that you start saying things that are vile and disgusting to Jewish students or any other group, I'm shutting you down.
Yeah, so
whoever doesn't like it can kiss my rear end.
Yeah, so if you say something that someone thinks is upsetting, I just think that college, and you and I can revisit from what we talked about this a lot in
our day, right? You went to Plattsburgh, I went to Cortland. This type of, every now and then you'd have a protest. They may sit in the president's office for a while, but then once the administration laid down the law, it was basically.
I don't know. I mean, here's the problem: we have a tough history in this country of cops coming onto campuses and breaking skulls and shooting people and things like that.
Why? Wait. Why do you say we have a tough? But besides what happened many years ago at Kent State.
Well, it's happening in a lot of college campuses. Kent State's the most famous.
Yeah, but like where? Where is it happening where cops are coming on campus shooting people?
Well, it was cops coming onto campuses. Kent State was an example of that.
What you're really saying to me is you're arguing the far left's nutty policies.
No, here's what I'm saying. I believe in the Constitution of the United States, and I believe that on campuses is where you're supposed to yell and scream at each other. That's what I believe.
Right.
And so then it becomes a question.
So I don't mean to cut you off. Let me ask you this question. If I'm a grad student at Columbia University, and I'm walking by, and a group of protesters use the N-word and say to me, "N this, N that," how long do you think the campus at Columbia would tolerate that?
Yeah, that's a good one. I don't know. I don't know.
We both know the answer. It'd be tolerated for a New York minute, and it would be shut down. The same protection.
Well, no, but here's the problem. Here's the problem.
Jewish students should get.
Here's the problem. There's no law against using the N-word.
Right, there is no law, but you know, like I know.
I get it. It's a hostile place. You can't learn if you're fearful for your life. I totally get it. But I'm saying when you're a college, the competing side of it is people should be arguing about stuff.
There is no competing side.
Well, let me just finish, and I'll try to flesh it out for you. The other side of it is people should be yelling at each other, sometimes even getting hot under the collar. That's what goes on college campuses all the time.
I'm sorry, Anthony. You and your wokeness friends, bye-bye. Weakest link.
Yeah, we believe in the Constitution. That's not a big deal for you guys.
No. You believe
someone should be.
You believe in college campuses running amok. You believe in these animals out here on the street.
I don't call people like. Well, let me ask you a question.
You believe in these migrants, and I don't want to take a cheap shot here, but just this past week, 2 women raped by migrants.
Well, let me take away. Let's take out actions and stick with words for a minute because this is about words.
Okay.
Do you think someone has a right to wear a white hood out here on outside our studio and hold up a swastika sign?
When you say wear a white hood, you mean a Klan?
KKK style. Hold up a swastika sign.
Good luck with that in a city like New York. You're not going to last 5 minutes.
I understand, but do you think you have a constitutional right to that? You think the cops should protect someone's right to do that? That there is the problem with the First Amendment. You don't need a First Amendment protection for popular speech.
Here we go with the wokeness. Okay, let's go back to the fact that Jewish students at Columbia had to sue in federal court because of inaction of the administration. They're paying the $70,000, $80,000, $90,000 tuition just like anybody else.
Right.
They're entitled to protection, legal protection under the law as everyone
Against
else.
what?
Against these protesters that are violating the law.
In what way, though? That's where the rubber hits the road. The problem is saying stuff we don't like ain't violating the law.
Okay, well, if a young lady's covering a protest and someone walks up with a flagpole and she gets poked in the eye and
that's a crime. Easy. That's an easy one. That's an easy one.
If Jewish students are on their way to class,
if someone yells something anti-Semitic to me in the street, I might punch him in the nose and argue it's fighting words under the Constitution, but they have look. The Supreme Court ruled 9-0 in Skokie v. Illinois. Like Skokie, Illinois, a Jewish community. The KKK says, well, we want to have a rally here. Look, the First Amendment is only, I believe in the Constitution. The First Amendment is only not needed to protect popular speech. It's only needed to protect unpopular speech. You and I do this for a living because we often say stupid things that people hate. We are protected in doing that. And that's why college campuses, you often have people saying, I think overwhelmingly these protesters are idiots. They're wrong. But I think they do have a right to be wrong.
No, they don't have a right to defecate.
That's an action. That's not a word. No one speaks with their poop.
Okay. You don't have a right to do that.
That's trademarked, by the way. No one speaks with their poop. Trademarked by me.
You don't have a right to say vile, disgusting things. You just
You
don't.
do, actually.
Okay, well,
You
okay,
do.
under the law you do, but I'm talking.
That's what we're talking about.
No. You're talking far left.
No, you're talking about getting the cops in to crack down, and I'm saying that if you're encamping somewhere, that's a crime. If you're saying anti-Semitic things, it's not a crime.
What you're talking is what has this country all screwed up.
The First Amendment?
What you're talking is what Kamala Harris supporters are talking, this nonsense. But we've got Anthony, we've got to get back to law. Why did I say Andrew?
That's fine. It's fine. People call me Andrew a lot because they don't think Anthony fits me. Like, I'm not a Tony. I'm not Anthony. I'm basically when people sometimes when they call me Tony, I know they don't really know me.
So what might you call me?
You're my man with it. But let's take the same subject though and go to the Democratic convention, which is coming up next week, and we're going to get to the presidential campaign. But
boy, do you guys got problems?
Yeah,
see how many groups have signed up to protest?
That's why I want to talk about this. Do you think
do you guys have a candidate yet?
We actually do now.
You do? Mm-hmm. And like, how did that work? Was it like a hand of blackjack? And I'm just curious.
Well, hold on.
Wait,
let's do the Gaza protest because it kind of links to this.
Say this one thing.
Go ahead.
Was it like a hand of blackjack?
Nope.
And you saw that the dealer had 20 and you had 16. You said, no, I don't want the 6. Take the 6 out and give me a 10 so I can match the dealer. That's what you guys did to Biden. But go ahead. What's your point?
We took a weak candidate, put a strong one in. Welcome to politics, my brother.
Oh, and you owe me an apology.
Why?
Because last week you sat up here defending Walls. Oh, he walks on water.
Okay, what's my apology?
As far as his military service,
yeah.
The campaign said that his quote he misspoke about his military service, and they've changed it online. And you defended him to the T.
You misunderstand.
Oh, I misunderstand.
You misunderstand what the conversation is about. The question is, did he retire at the rank that he served at?
That's not the question. Well, he lied about that.
It is. No, he served at the rank he said. He just didn't retire at that rank. That's the only issue, my man.
Okay, but he went around campaigning at that rank. That's okay?
He did. He achieved that rank.
Is that okay? No.
He served at that rank.
Okay,
yes, you
but
get
is
to
that
say.
Okay? No, it's not okay.
He served at that rank.
He did not complete the paperwork. He
didn't retire at that rank.
He did it. So then why would you run for Congress?
Are you into truthfulness?
Yes.
Okay. So let's talk about Donald Trump's truthfulness.
Anthony, here we go.
You can't
pivot. Can't defend it.
I want to be okay.
Pivot.
All right, I got an idea. I won't pivot at all. Let's hold the candidates accountable for truthfulness. Deal?
Yes.
Okay. Yes. So you start with Waltz, and then I'm going to do for 8 hours of Donald Trump lying. So go ahead, finish your Waltz point, because I could pages and pages and pages of him lying. So let's go.
And what about Kamala Harris? Let's see here. One day, far left, I'm here. Next day, no taxes on tips.
What are you talking about?
Oh, Trump has been saying that for almost a year.
Wait a minute.
One day.
Oh, so when Trump.
The next day.
When Trump did his tax cut for billionaires, he had tax cuts on tips. I missed that.
Okay.
He was president that wrote a package that he's so proud of that gave tax cuts to millionaires and billionaires, and he didn't give it to people that had tips.
Kamala Harris has been vice president. What has she done?
Look at the Constitution. What's her job?
What has she done?
Her job is to break ties.
Okay.
Her job is not to run the country.
But didn't she say, I'm the last one in the room with Biden?
Totally. But she's not the president.
Okay. But
your guy was the president and wrote a tax bill and left out tips. Oh, surprising. Okay. And then he left out no tax on Social Security. Instead, every budget he wrote was cuts to Social Security and Medicare.
Okay, can we focus?
We're focusing on a liar.
Walls lied. About 20 times about his different military
Incorrect.
Service? Yes.
All right, I'm going to explain it.
When you deliver speeches,
when you're done,
you say when I got back from war, that's a lie. That's not a lie?
No.
That's not a lie.
He served in Operation Enduring Freedom.
Excuse me.
Department of Defense has confirmed that.
Okay. He said when I was looking at the bodies in Afghanistan, he went there as a congressman on a short trip, but portrayed that he went there as a member of the military.
No, he didn't.
Yes, he did.
No, he clearly he was talking about a Codell 2 sentences before he talked about the colleagues he went with. Good grief, man.
So the Harris campaign, came forward and said, "Listen, the governor misspoke. And yet you're still saying that he didn't say anything.
Yeah,
wrong.
I'm going to explain to our listeners because you're deceiving them. The only question.
I'm deceiving them.
Right. I just said that. Why are you repeating what I'm saying? I can repeat it myself.
Because
I'm about to explain.
Because
I'm about to
every
explain.
week I tell the
I'm about to explain.
Okay.
You just interrupted.
Go ahead.
The only issue is not whether he
Not the only issue.
I'm going to
What is
finish.
military
I'm going to
service?
finish.
Go ahead.
The only issue is not whether he served at that rank. He did. No one contests that he served at this highest rank. The only question is when he retired, did he retire at that rank? And he didn't. And there was a reference.
And he what?
And he didn't retire at that rank.
Did not.
He took a pay cut and
wait.
retired at a lower rank.
He did not, right? So we can agree
He did not
on that.
retire at that rank. He served at that rank. Congratulations. You made the point. He served at the highest civilian rank, and Donald Trump paid a podiatrist who worked in his daddy's building to say he had bone spurs. Big difference.
So then if he retired at a lower rank.
Correct.
Why would you run for Congress at that higher rank when members
because
of your
he served
unit,
at it.
When members of your
because
unit,
he served at it.
When members of your unit said it's stolen valor, you know
because
that you didn't retire.
he
and
served
that's okay.
at it.
Even though he didn't have that rank, it's
listen,
okay.
I'm going to say this to you one more time.
My God. So
all right,
even though
Dominic,
the
how about this?
campaign-
I'll ask you the question. Let's see if you can be honest, because it's a factual question.
Wait.
Did
You're
he
talking
serve?
to me about being honest.
That's what I'm doing. I'm talking to you.
I want to pour this water on my head.
Yeah, I'm saying.
You're talking to me about being honest.
Yeah, and I'm going to finish my thought because let's see if you can do it.
Go ahead.
Did he serve at the highest civilian rank in the National Guard?
Before he retired, yes.
That's all he said. So it's only a question of what.
No. He ran for Congress after he retired.
Correct.
At the highest rank.
Correct.
That is not
correct.
Accurate. That is a lie. That is embellishing your credentials.
He doesn't need to.
And that's
he doesn't need to. He's an American hero.
Okay, he doesn't. Who called? No one called. Well, if he's a hero,
why? What is Donald Trump? I'll tell you what Donald Trump is. Let me talk about Donald Trump's history with the draft.
If Walls is a hero, why are so many people that served with him calling him a coward?
I count 2. How many did you count?
I count 3 to 4.
3 to 4. For 24 years, Dominic.
Plus the mother, the man that replaced him.
Dominic, I counted 2, but if you found 3, 24 years. As a ranking guy, and only 3 people have anything bad to say about you, that's a win.
No.
That's a win.
It's not that they have something bad to say. It's that they say he lied.
Right,
and that he was a coward.
I know.
And that
they're partisan Republicans.
And that he left.
There are partisan Republicans he's worked with. 24 people.
So then why did the campaign say he misspoke?
Because
why did the Harris campaign say he misspoke?
I'll explain. Because he did not retire at that rank.
So he embellished his credentials. No, why can't you just admit it?
He served at that rank, didn't retire. If the American people who listen to this podcast think that that's and this radio show think that that's a really big thing, but I'm going to tell you, Dominic. Last week I got 3 emails correcting something that I said about Donald Trump.
What was that?
The podiatrist that gave him the bone spur diagnosis was a guy that was in Fred Trump's building who never even examined him. He bought a buyout of the Vietnam War. That's why.
Says who?
Says the podiatrist's daughter. Who says that's what the podiatrist told him.
And how do we know the daughter is not disgruntled?
How do you know that the three people that are talking about Walsh are not disgruntled?
Well, they served with him.
Well, this one had no reason to lie.
Who says who?
The podiatrist is dead.
First of all, I've never seen this story. This version.
Dominic, I'm all about informing you on stories you miss because you're here in the echo chamber of MAGA. Ooh. You probably think you're winning the race.
Wait. I'm in the echo chamber of MAGA.
Now you're doing an echo of the echo chamber. Yes, you just echoed me saying you're in the echo chamber. Well done.
So then you're going to tell me then that you actually believe that Kamala Harris is qualified to serve as president?
Well, let me ask you this.
Wait.
How far?
So we're just going to ask each other questions.
How far?
Is she qualified to serve as president?
Vice President, Senator.
No. That's not what I asked you.
By the way, someone counted up how many times you said has she given a press conference at 11 last week. You did the same point 11 times.
Well.
Yes, she's qualified. You've asked me this before. Yes, the vice president, senator of the most populous state, attorney general, prosecutor. Yes, she's qualified.
You know damn well she's not qualified.
I just said she is.
You're doing Democratic talking points.
How about a guy with a bunch of failed companies? Is he qualified?
Donald Trump.
It's funny that you knew who I was talking about when I said failed companies.
We all prospered under the Trump administration.
Oh, did we now?
Can I say that about the Biden administration? Can I say that about the Biden administration?
Yeah, just about every indication of our economy is up.
Oh my
every
God.
single one.
So then why are food prices so high?
Food prices.
Why is gas so high?
Well, that's
Why
what
is the southern border
Kamala
a mess?
Harris said yesterday. Gave a speech about how she's going to solve that problem.
Right.
By the way, what are
more government interference? Right.
Tax
That's
cuts?
do it.
Tax cuts for people that have babies? Yeah, government interference. And we'll be right back.
Ready to level up your career? Text DISH to 44043 now to dive into a world of exciting technician opportunities at DISH. From cutting-edge technology to a supportive work environment, DISH offers the perfect platform for your success. Connect with us today to discover how you can be part of a dynamic team driving innovation. Connect today and join the DISH family, where innovation meets opportunity. Text DISH to 44043 to kickstart your journey towards a rewarding career.
It's the left versus the right. Now, to the Bernard McGurk Studios, it's a 77 WABC debate. The melee in the metropolis. 77 WABC.
So welcome back to Left versus Right. Anthony Weiner on your left, Dominic Carter on your right. Dominic, you know, I have an advantage. I keep the clock, so I get to go to hard breaks. I got the last word, so you have the first word. You know, Kamala Harris gave this great speech about her proposals for improving the economy. Donald Trump gave 2 press conferences. I didn't see a single specific plan what he would do. What do you have to think about all Kamala Harris's proposals that she made on Friday?
Well, you just mentioned Trump. So this week he did the interview with Elon Musk. They went on for what, a good 2 hours?
Yeah, that was like a therapy session of two wackos, but yeah.
Okay, they went on for like 2 hours. Then Trump does his economic speech in North Carolina. He went on for what, hour and a half, 2 hours?
Yeah,
right.
Yeah, keep it coming. And Bedminster, don't forget that. He did the press conference at Bedminster where he did 47 minutes before he took a question, took 4 questions, didn't answer any of them and left. Keep going.
Okay.
It's been a good week for Harris, no doubt about it.
So let's compare that to what Kamala Harris did this week. She did a 15-minute rally in Maryland with Biden.
Correct.
And that was it. She said
no. She gave that speech yesterday where she laid out her economic plans.
Well, okay.
Very specific.
Okay. You really believe that nonsense?
Do you think she's not going to do them, or do you think they're not specific? At least we know what she believes.
What does she ever follow through on in her life?
Well, this is her proposals for the next 4 years.
Right.
Your guy spoke for hours and hours and hours and didn't have it. He says, I'm going to bring down prices on day one. Okay, I'm listening for that proposal. How are you going to do that?
But why? But why does he have to bring down prices? Why would he even be in that position?
Because everyone wants prices lower? I don't follow you.
No. To bring down prices under a new administration means that you were left a bag where prices were high.
Well, well, inflation is low today, but prices are too high.
Okay, and how did they get that way, Mr. Weiner?
Well, we had a disastrous president during COVID. Supply chain things got screwed up. We had a war.
Your guy had 4 years.
I know. Now they're down again. Now they're down, but they're still too high. But what? So are you against? Name a single proposal she made that you're against. Are you against the $25,000 subsidies for people who are buying their first home? No, you're not against that.
Well,
are you? Oh, you are. Okay, I thought so. Because you just want to give money to billionaires.
Full stop.
Okay.
You're talking about a subsidy.
Yeah.
When the interest rate went from under 3 to 3 with Trump to where we are now.
It's lowest it's been since 21 right now.
Excuse me. We're at more than double what it was under Trump. Can you deny that?
It is, yes.
Of course you
at a certain point, money was. I'm going to tell you, money was completely free at the end of COVID because our economy was in a free fall.
Okay.
Yes, you're exactly right. The economy was in a free fall. There wasn't demand. You're right. Donald Trump drove the economy into the ground. Yes. He was the only president since Hoover that lost jobs.
You're playing games when people that are looking to buy their first home, that little gimmick of a $25.
You're opposed to it. I just want to make sure I know.
No. It's always a good thing when we try to help first-time home buyers. But that's not.
What about the 6,000? Oh, I'm sorry.
Okay, that's not going to cut it. That's a gimmick.
Oh no, it's not going to work.
Because, okay,
let's try it.
What does it matter if you're giving $25,000 when mortgage payments are double?
Because the biggest obstacle is not the mortgage payment; it's the down payment. The
No,
down
that's not
payment.
true.
Yeah,
It's
down
Anthony,
payments.
no,
Down payments are the single biggest thing that stops first-time homeowners.
Anthony, I know a lot about real estate, and you can get mortgages with 3% down. Some cases you can get them down with nothing down payment, 3%, 5%.
No, not
Some cases they want 10 to 15 to 20.
They usually do. They usually want more than 3%. They want at least 10%. That's the biggest problem because people can't save.
No, that's not the biggest problem. The biggest problem is even if you rob Peter to pay Paul or come up.
What was Trump's proposal for the middle class?
I won't be able to finish my
all right,
comment.
go ahead.
No,
rob Peter to pay Paul. Go ahead.
No.
Who's Paul in that? Billionaires.
What I'm saying is not relevant. The only thing that's relevant is what Anthony Weiner says. So
I
go ahead.
apologize. Now you're hurting my feelings. So
no, I don't want to hurt your feelings.
Please continue.
Don't do your poor baby routine.
Please continue. I don't want you to not be able to talk, Dominic, because I know how hard it is for you to power through and to just go ahead. Go ahead. Let's look at the. You tell me if you propose. You oppose this one
right now.
Yeah,
she's gonna say, Anthony, that wasn't nice.
No, she's gonna say $25,000 for first-time homeowners. Great, $6,000 per child tax credit.
No, talk about the interest rate. Talk about that.
Interest rates are lower than they've been since 2021. They're coming down.
Okay, and how did they get to where they are now?
Because the Fed had to raise interest rates to tackle the inflation that was left by the mess of Donald Trump. What else? Keep going.
But under Trump, they were at 3%.
They were yeah, that's right. Because no one was buying homes because the economy was in the crapper.
And so that's why we doubled the interest rate.
Yeah,
to more than 7%.
Yeah, we had inflation.
No, the interest rate.
And the Fed had to try. Okay, all right. You want to do economics? I'm going to take a pause here and do economics. In order to tackle inflation, make sure we don't have a recession, the Fed had to take money out of the bloodstream. And so how did they do it? They did it by raising rates. I think they should have brought the rates down sooner. The guy who runs the Fed is a Trump appointee. If you don't like what he's doing, you're not alone. I think they should have lowered rates by now. But that's the Fed. The president has different authorities. The president has dollar authority to help people with $25,000, not billionaires, not zillionaires, not cotillionaires, working class people like your family and my family. A $6,000 per child tax credit for families with newborns. That's a great idea.
Anthony,
you're against tax cuts now.
Anthony, you don't. I don't believe anything that comes from the campaign of
You think
Kamala
it's a good
Harris.
idea? Let's pretend.
I think she's an empty suit.
Okay, but pretend.
I don't think she's coming up with any of these ideas.
Who cares?
I care.
Don't you want to?
So
is it a good idea?
I got a question for you.
Yes, sir.
Do you think it's cool for the American people? You guys, you're doing this now more and more. Biden runs the campaign from the basement 4 years ago.
Yeah.
Kamala doesn't take questions. Kamala doesn't do any interviews. Is that cool? Is that the American way?
Someone wrote me about this last week. They said Dominic mentioned that 11 times in one 1-hour show.
Okay.
No, I just did a podcast about this. Sure, answer questions. Can we get back to talking about the actual proposal?
No.
Yes.
No. Do you think it's cool for an American president?
I don't think it's cool.
So you just.
I don't think it's cool.
So you just.
I do want to know what she's going to do for my life. How she spends her time is less important. The media, we all think we're so important. What's more important is what you can do for the American people. And
Right.
she says that she is going to crack down on price gouging. Do you think that's a good idea?
By more government involvement? Come on, Anthony.
Okay, so you don't want government involvement. So in other words, when Donald Trump says that when someone fires someone for going on strike, they're doing the right thing.
No, what I'm saying...
No, thank God.
What I'm saying...
Finally, a Republican to stand up for the working guy.
What I'm saying is I trust Donald Trump on his worst day to do a better job than I trust Kamala Harris to do on her absolute best day.
So did Donald Trump do? So when
how come she's not laughing anymore?
When Donald Trump,
as Trump says,
oh, she's plenty happy. We're all happy. We're having a joyous campaign.
Yeah, but because you're trying to elect her for
the American dream is dead. Your guy says.
You're trying.
Do you believe that? Let me ask you.
You're trying to elect her for all the wrong reasons. You guys are wicked.
No policies.
You said
I'm reading the policies.
You guys said, "Let me go get this black woman. Let me go get this light."
You keep raising race.
Let me go get this.
She hasn't mentioned that once.
Let me go. Of course, she's not.
Oh, so she's not using race.
Because she's using it. She's manipulating
how?
it.
She's not mentioning it once. You guys keep mentioning it. You seem very obsessed with how black she is.
Let's go get this African American. Who is a woman.
Wait a minute. When did she become black?
Let's put her in these Hillary Clinton
Dominic, when did she become black?
I'm curious.
Dominic, when did she become black?
How come she never wears a skirt?
Hey, Dominic, when did she...
curious.
That's a weird question.
No, why is that
sometimes
weird? Why is
sometimes
that a
you
weird
veer into
question?
weird.
I'm just curious. Why does she never wear a skirt?
Why don't you ever wear skirts?
I have.
Let's pause at this moment and hear the story of when Dominic Carter wore a dress.
I did in college.
Go ahead.
I did.
Go ahead.
I did
Tell me
drag.
more.
I did. Curtis Lee and I have talked about this before.
Excellent. I will now turn the mic over to Dominic so he gets staring.
No, I mean,
Tell me the story. Tell me more.
The whole routine. I did drag.
When was the last time you wore drag?
In college.
Got it.
Now, I'm not even going to ask you the question. We'll leave
Actually, it's funny. When I had my whole scandal, there was a picture. There was a picture.
Your scandal was off the table.
No.
I don't discuss that.
No, but when I had my scandal,
I don't
someone
wanna
did release a
talk
picture of
about
me in
it.
college in drag. Someone did do that.
Well, and so then you're talking about me in drag.
No, I'm just
and you
fascinated.
did the same thing?
I don't think this is good for our ratings. People conjuring you in drag. I love you, and I think you're a very handsome man. But the suits, the French cuffs, the monogram cuffs, that's what I prefer. All right. So anyway, so you don't want her to wear. By the way, you talk about Kamala Harris being black. When did she become black? I'm curious.
On the few times when she wasn't Indian American.
Gotcha. So she's been black, a week, 10 days? How long has she been black?
No.
Because Donald Trump won't answer this question, you won't answer the question, and yet you keep referring to it.
I think you need to do a show 1 week with Judge Joe Brown. That's who I
tell me why, and tell the listeners why.
Joe Brown, who's the judge on television, he's putting all of her dirt out there.
I haven't heard it. Give us some. I want to hear this.
Well, he says she's a total phony.
Or you say that. I don't need Judge Brown to say that. You say that.
That she's used her blackness. I mean, come on, man.
Judge Brown is sometimes authority. Is he a famous person I should know?
Okay, yeah, you should. But listen, let me ask you a question.
Yeah.
If President Obama never said that's a pretty woman over there, you think she'd have the success that she has?
Yes, I do.
For her personal ambition and
she's I think all of us rise on the shoulders of others. I think Willie Brown helped.
That's an interesting way to put it.
I think you do. I think I do. And none of us get anywhere alone. None of us are islands.
Well,
let me ask this. Dominic,
but you or I, because of our personal relationship with Willie Brown, we don't get to be appointed to $100,000.
We have Willie Browns in our background. You have mentors. Let me ask you something, Dominic. Do you have any mentors in your business?
I have never had somebody give me a job that I wasn't qualified for.
That's fair enough. But do you have mentors?
Now, just indulge me for a second.
Yeah.
No experience. And
well, she was an attorney.
And
how much attorney?
So,
she was put on some.
So what? She was an attorney. So what?
She was put on some board. I get it.
I know a lot of lawyers. So what?
A lot of people looking at it. You think.
Okay.
You think Eric Trump Jr. would ever have a job if it weren't for his daddy? Really. Do you think these kids are Nepo babies to the nth degree, and you're going to talk about this? Do you think Donald Trump would be anything if his dad didn't build a nice business?
I think that's disgusting.
What part?
I think
they're Nepo babies. Come on.
I think that
Donald Trump's a Nepo baby.
I think that Mr. Trump, and I think that all of his kids will be successful and are successful.
They're not successful
in their own right.
They're not successful.
And that's disgusting.
How did Trump Airlines do? How did the Trump casinos do? How did Trump University do? They can't do anything. Fred Trump built a legitimate business. His son is a knucklehead who is good on TV.
Notice how you pivoted away from Kamala Harris. I want to ask the question.
That's your defense of Donald Trump is I don't want to talk about it?
Can I ask the question?
I was the one who was talking about Harris's proposals.
Can I ask the question?
You may.
Okay, so here's the question.
Yes.
No qualification and
for what?
And medical experience, and she gets appointed somehow, some way.
When is this?
Willie Brown, early on in her career,
1983 or something, 1985, something like that.
To boards at almost $100,000 a year, and they meet once or twice a month. Come on,
someone had to serve on that board. Yeah, she benefited from that. Okay, that's a long ass time ago. Donald Trump? You
won't even say it's wrong.
Donald Trump.
You won't even say it's wrong.
Why? You think, but Dominic, are you telling to our listeners the fact that some people know other people and get appointed because of knowing someone is a crime? Your guy literally had millions of dollars given to him, and he thinks he's self-made.
I'm going to respond to you this way, as the kids would say. Stop hating on Trump and stop with the jealousy. Are you mad because you don't have the real estate empire that he does?
Mad is not. I wouldn't want anything about Donald Trump's life. He's a psychopath. I wouldn't want anything about it. I would not trade anything. I would not trade anything to be Donald Trump.
He's a psychopath?
Clearly. You look at the clinical definition of psychopath, and that's what you see. The guy that cannot control himself long enough. He's name-calling, making fun of veterans, making fun of the disabled, insulting black people. Of course, he is not someone I would welcome at a cocktail party.
Okay, all right.
Let alone be the president of the United States. That's why so many of us are working so hard to defeat him and the American people. By the way, I haven't heard any mention of polls in weeks.
Okay, so then how did he beat Hillary Clinton?
He got fewer votes than Hillary Clinton by a lot.
Excuse me. The way that we elect presidents in this country...
Because the racist that wrote the Electoral College into the Constitution got a racist elected. That's why. The Electoral College. Hello.
So they're racist.
Yes, if you know the history of the Electoral College, it was about making sure people like you never had any power. Yes, the Electoral College is a racist institution.
Okay.
Do you believe in democracy? Most people, the more people got more votes should get elected? Do you? No, you don't. You believe that a bunch of white people should overtake the votes that you and I cast in New York. That ain't right.
So that's what I believe.
That's why Kamala Harris has to win by like 6 points in order to win the Electoral College.
So, Anthony, what you're doing right now, this is called patronizing. You're telling the black guy what he's supposed to think. Yes. You don't see anything wrong with that?
Every hour we're on the air, I'm telling you what you should think because you're getting it wrong. Yes, that's what we're doing here. A show where I say to you, you're wrong.
This is classic limousine liberal.
What are you talking about?
Black guy,
only one mentioning
you don't know what you're talking about. This is what you should be saying.
I think you're an idiot because you're black? No, you're an idiot because of your positions, my dude. Your blackness is arguably one of the best things about you.
I hate to reduce it to this. But if I'm an idiot, what are you?
I'm only half this show, okay? I'm the other idiot on the air here. I mean, there's two knuckleheads yelling at each other.
No, it's not two knuckleheads. There's somebody...
By the way, you mention race on this show more than I do. You just mentioned Kamala Harris about her race. Kamala Harris, how many times has she mentioned her race on the campaign trail?
Megan Thee Stallion.
That's okay.
Let's not go there. Let's not go there. Right?
What about it?
Kamala Harris told you what she thinks about black people.
I am not doing Megan. I will walk off the set before we do any more Megan Thee Stallion. I will not. It's Anthony Weiner on the left, Dominic Carter on the right. Megan Thee Stallion, stay at WBLS. We don't want you here. We'll be right back.
It's the left versus the right. It's a 77 WABC debate. The melee in the metropolis. 77 WABC.
So welcome back to Left versus Right. Anthony Weiner on your left, Dominic Carter on your right. If you miss any part of the show, get it anywhere that you have that you can listen to podcasts. Also, Dominic's show at 3 o'clock, Dominic's show at midnight, syndicated all around the country. You're taking off. You're blowing up. I'm jealous of you a little bit, I got to admit, because all over the country now people are saying your name.
Well, don't be jealous.
But I will tell you, I'll tell you a true thing. And
You're
Curtis,
true to yourself.
Curtis talks about this too. People mention politics to me. They mention what's going on. This is the thing they mention the most nowadays, which is left versus right. How's Dominic doing? How are you guys getting along? How did you rupture a blood vessel last week? All that kind of stuff.
You know what? We really do need to do a new show. And the new show needs to be the outtakes of when we go to commercial. I really think that the audience should hear what is said between you, me, the staff, and the commercials.
Well, there is a proposal lingering around here at the studio to do a live show because we're in the big studio here, Studio 77, and doing a lot. I'd be willing to do it. Sometimes the crew here is yelling at each other, and they come in from the social media department and everything else. Let me ask you, I am curious about something.
Hey, I give you credit, though. I give you credit, man. I really, really give you credit because you've calmed down. And I think you know that you're fighting a losing battle.
It's true. I do know that.
And that Kamala Harris is embarrassing herself on the campaign trail, and that Trump is headed back to the White House. So I give you credit. You're not stomping around.
I appreciate it.
You're not accusing me of being
First of all, the afternoon is young. There's still time for that.
What made you do that?
Can I tell you? One thing I've noticed.
Go ahead.
It's been weeks since you've mentioned the polls. Why is that?
Because Trump is still ahead.
Oh, he is?
Yeah.
So you think actually here's the way to structure it.
Okay.
How do you?
So now you want to talk about polls?
No, I actually was making fun of you for not talking about them. But what's this? Putting the polls aside, you can mention if you want.
Okay.
What do you think the state of the race is now? Like you're very confident. I get that he's going to win. But right here, not looking at November 4th. The state of the race. Do you think a lot of people have said this? And someone asked him at on the press conference on Thursday. Mr. Trump, do you think you need to change anything you're doing? I know Sid here at the station says, let Trump be Trump. What do you think? You're a smart political guy. Would you say that things are going well for your team right now? Because I'm very happy with the way my team is doing things. They were a disaster under Biden. Things are going much better now. I'm happy going into the convention.
So if they were a disaster under Biden, why didn't you say that on this program?
I did. I said the can't.
No, you didn't. No,
okay. All right. The only way to answer this is for me to put a cuts together of me saying over and over again, going back to 2022, saying that Joe Biden is a lousy candidate, that he's a great president, but he's a lousy candidate.
Anthony,
I said it on this show when you said who's winning, who's losing.
You said it when he was The Walking Dead. That's what
yes, he's been The Walking Dead since 2022.
Oh, how convenient now. We tell the truth finally.
Why do you want to talk about Biden?
No. So I want to answer your question.
Thank you. Go ahead. State of the race.
The state of the race is Trump is still ahead. Trump, I'm going to use a term that the kids use. Trump is laying in the cut. Traditionally, when the other party holds their convention, that other party stays out of the headlines. They respect each other that way. Trump even said that the other day at Bedminster at his news conference. So right now, based on polling, she's right on his tail. I mean, she's
gained a lot.
Okay, well, let me just finish. You ask me, and then you can answer. She's gaining. But and she's gained not for the right reasons. She's gained because she's a black woman that's manipulating that and also her gender. But here's the problem. This is a marathon. It's not a sprint. She may even topple him. Or it'll be dead even following the end of this week, the Democratic Convention in Chicago, because it's going to be a coronation, Kamala walk on water. But what are you guys going to do? And I want you to assess the race as well. You got to debate. There is no way in hell that she can go 10 minutes at a debate with Trump. She will be destroyed. And so right now, they're about neck and neck. But as we get closer to that debate, and after that debate, he's going to pull ahead, and that's it.
Okay.
And then the blame game will start. We never should have went with Kamala, and then you'll say, I never backed her. Okay, so now what's your assessment?
So here's what, I think that if we're going to be fair about it, the polls have been uniformly good for her. There was a Fox poll that had Trump up a little bit, but the battleground states, she's gained, you're right, among communities of color. She's gained among women. She's gained among young people. And she's gained from RFK voters. RFK is now down to like 2%. I think so far they have done everything right. I agree. 80 days is still 80 days. It's still plenty of time that something is. We're going to now have a week that she's going to get a little convention bounce out of that. Candidates always do. It's not 6 points. It's 1 or 2 points. So she's going to come out of that winning. And she's leading right now. My thing is, from watching Donald Trump and watching Kamala Harris seems to have a strategy, and it does include not doing press conferences. It's a strategy. You might think
disgusting.
I don't know, disgusting is such a strong word, but okay. But let me just finish.
Why won't she do news conferences?
Let me just finish the state of the race, and then we can go back to last week.
I know
we can go back to last week.
I know you're not going to answer
because
that.
It's working. Is the short answer to what she's doing.
No, because she's an empty suit and she can't handle it.
However you want to say it's working, it's working. She is gaining in the polls. She's raising a bunch of money. But here's the thing that I think that Harris's campaign has going for it, and why I'm happy with the state of the race. That Donald Trump, the candidate on the other side, shows no sign of adapting. Shows no sign of like, oh, wait a minute, I'm not running against Biden anymore. Now I'm running against this different type of candidate who I have to do different types of things with. So he's holding press conferences that are just rally rambles. He's going on X and talking to people about firing workers. He's not trying to think about where is that moderate woman vote that I need to get in these 5 or 6 or 8 states.
That's your opinion.
We're on an opinion show and I'm saying words. So yes, it's my opinion.
That doesn't mean it's right.
It doesn't mean it's correct. I know. Your opinion is your opinion. My opinion. Well, of course, you're saying.
Okay.
We're doing a subjective show. Is that news to you? Yes. I'm doing subjective.
No.
It is borne out.
I don't look at it as a subjective show. I look at this show as telling the truth.
Now we're doing the state of the play, which is our opinions about where things are.
Okay. But you're not honest with your opinion.
If you want
You
it,
never
it's no
are.
such thing being honest about an opinion. You
But you never are.
We're talking about something subjective. If you want to talk about objective things, numbers, we can look at the numbers of the polls. We can look at the numbers of the fundraising. We can put the numbers of where things stand. And I've said before, polls move around, but she is doing much, much better than Joe Biden was doing, and much, much better every week. Every week, a new set of polls comes out.
Can she ride this to Election Day?
I believe she can.
With not answering anything, not doing news conferences.
She'll eventually do a press conference.
Never going off teleprompter.
Yes, she probably can ride it out.
Ride it to Election Day.
But you think that the debates are going to be a big turning point. She can't do it then, obviously. She's not going to be able to do it then, and she's agreed to debates. And
they're going to prep her, and she's going
to be prepared.
She's going to come in with these stupid one-liners. Joe, I was that kid on the bus.
No, I think what she's going to do is just shut up and give Donald Trump as much time as he wants to ramble and say ridiculous things.
And you think Trump is stupid enough to fall for that? Trump is going to let her talk.
Donald Trump just gave on Thursday another rambling press conference where he got himself in trouble, was no discipline, didn't have a abiding message, was talking about...
He's before the American people.
Right, that's good.
Kamala?
That's good for Kamala. You don't understand, my friend. No. This is an effort to win a race. If you benefit by letting the other guy talk, Donald Trump is mentally deficient. 58%.
Oh, he's mentally deficient. Come on, man.
He said that more than 100% of the jobs that were lost went to migrants. How can it be more than 100% of the jobs?
Are the migrants a serious? Okay.
How can it be more than 100%?
Okay, you just brought up a good point.
There's nothing more than 100%.
2 women raped allegedly by migrants in New York this week. You got an 11-year-old animal migrant in training, because he's only 11 years old. And you haven't denounced any of this. Why is that?
I denounce it. By the way, did you
That's
see...
That's disgusting.
I did denounce it.
No. What you're doing is... You're doing a backhand thing.
No, I denounce it.
Okay.
By the way, you see Donald Trump said...
Okay. What role did Democrats play in these 2 rapists being here and the 11-year-old kid?
I don't know. You tell me what role
of course
Democrats
not. Of course not. You don't know. You don't know. But Kamala's running a great strategy.
This is your thing. Go ahead.
Come on.
Tell me what you want to tell me.
No. All I'm saying is you're not saying anything.
I condemned it. No. I just did. I agreed with you. You said I'm not honest. I condemned it. You see Donald Trump said Kamala Harris wants to give everyone health care? No. You think? Yes. She wants to give everyone health care. Do you? Why can Donald Trump doesn't want to do that? He's an idiot. And every time he opens his mouth and gives a press conference, it's a good day. Oh, by the way.
He also said that he doesn't like it, but he'll continue Obamacare unless something better comes along.
What?
And that's Obama. That's not her.
What? He tried...
That's Obama. That's not her.
He was in...
Does Kamala have a idea?
Does
she have any idea? A idea?
Yeah.
Listen,
you want to hear a few of them?
Anybody can write
he
on
wants
paper.
I bet he wants to codify Roe v. Wade. What about your guy?
Here we go. I know we couldn't
You asked for her ideas.
We couldn't get through a
that,
single
my friends,
show
is an idea.
without Anthony Weiner bringing up abortion.
You don't like that subject, do you? Why you hide from that subject?
No.
That subject's a bad one, isn't it?
No.
By the way, how's Donald Trump going to vote on the 6-week abortion ban in Florida?
Here we go.
Oh, he early voted. Wait a minute. I thought he doesn't want early voting.
Here we go.
Too easy. Just lobbed it up and then whack.
No, it's not too easy. What's easy is your candidate is a joke.
Yeah, okay.
She stands for nothing.
She stands for health care for everyone. She stands for $25,000. She stands for $6,000 per child tax credit. I'm reading from her Friday speech.
So she's going to do for America what she did for San Francisco and California, correct?
Crack down on crime? Yeah, she's going to crack down on crime.
So what she did in San Francisco and California, that's what she would do for America?
Crime came down.
No. Can you answer yes or no?
Yeah, she's going to bring down crime. Yeah.
So you want America to look like San Francisco?
You said her. She's not the attorney. She's not the attorney now.
Right. No.
If she was, you're not voting for that. You're voting for president for that.
Oh, my God.
She's not going to be the district attorney. I'm sorry. She won't be the district attorney of California when she's president. She's an impressive woman, but she's not going to do that.
She's a joke. Come on, man. And I don't take light in saying that. She's a joke. An empty suit.
Really? She believes in $6,000 per child tax credit for anyone with a newborn child. Good idea, isn't it?
I could get a spokesman to write a whole campaign idea for me, too.
You know what we should do? You're right. Let's look at what Donald Trump actually did. Did he eliminate tax on tips when he was president?
You made this point in the beginning of
I know,
the
I didn't
show,
get an answer.
And Because it's ridiculous.
The answer is just humor me. I gave you the answer on the thing you went to on immigration.
Is when he was president,
yes,
he had much bigger fish to fry. That's the answer.
So he didn't do a tax reform bill then?
Well, he says he's going to do it this time.
Did he do a tax reform bill in 2017 with a Republican House and a Republican Senate? The answer is yes. And did he include no tax on tips? No. That's weird. Is he doing it just because it's an election year? Let me ask you this question. Is he in favor of increasing the minimum wage on those low wage workers? Nope. But let me ask you another question.
What will increasing the minimum wage do except for, don't you see all across America?
Because it'll help struggling people, yes.
Don't you see all across America businesses are going out of business?
No.
Because
there have been more new business started under Biden than under Trump.
Walgreens, Rite Aid, Red Lobster. I mean, I could go on for the rest of the program.
Wait a minute. Hold on a second. You know there have been more business startups under Biden than under Trump. You're aware of that, right? You're aware that more people lost jobs under Trump than any president since Hoover. You're aware of that, right?
You can play with any stat you want to.
I'm not playing with stats. I'm reading them to you. I'm educating you, my man.
My rebuttal is ask anybody on the street if their life was better under the 4 years of Trump or if their life has been better under the 4 years of Biden and Harris.
Actually, that gets asked frequently. You know what else was asked recently? Is Trump too old?
Can you answer that question yourself?
100% we're better off. Are you kidding?
I said you.
100% people were dying on the street, including my best friend's father of COVID. Because while your guy was talking about gargling bleach, we had people, the economy was at zero. We had lost jobs.
My God.
And this guy was out there saying, it's going to go away. The Wuhan flu. My guy Xi.
Who came up with the vaccine?
The pharmaceutical companies.
No. Who pushed them to get? See, you won't even give the man credit. You won't even give the man credit.
How come he won't tell his brain dead supporters to take the vaccine?
Why do you always insult his supporters?
You're right.
Why are you calling them brain dead?
That was a mistake.
Brain dead.
That was a mistake. I apologize.
Now, if you want to talk about brain dead, and I don't mean to.
You don't mean to do it. I just did.
No, right.
No, you're going to do it.
I don't mean to offend her supporters, but if you're going to vote for her simply because she's black,
you're the only one saying that.
Excuse me.
You and Trump are the only one raising the racist thing.
Can I finish?
You guys are just.
Can I finish?
You're poking.
Can I finish? Can I finish? If you're going to vote for her simply because she's black / Indian American, whenever the winds blow, whichever way is more advantageous for her career, and also because she's a woman, then aren't those the voters that are misguided?
You're not
even going to answer.
I'm answering them. When I say words after you talk, it's me answering you.
No, you're about to ask me a question.
No, I'm going to say that to imply that someone got ahead only because they're black. Well, then I inferred it. I infer from that you and Donald Trump believe that her race and her gender is the only reason she got in. I think she's a very impressive person, and a lot of Americans.
It's called DEI.
Yeah, I know. What does that stand for?
Why do you ask me that?
Because I don't think you know.
You don't think I know what DEI is?
I don't think you know.
Okay, and why?
I don't want to put you in a spot here with only 30 seconds left to show, but I don't think you know.
No. But why do I have to prove to you what I know?
Because I'm making a point.
See, here we go again to the patronizing white guy thing.
Not patronizing. I know what DEI stands for.
Okay, and I do too.
Okay.
But why?
Which of the three letters are you most offended by? Is it equity? Is it equity? You don't like equity? I want to make sure. Do you like inclusion?
The whole thing is wrong.
Diversity?
The whole thing is wrong.
You know it's not wrong?
What?
You and me, pal. We're going to be here next week. I don't care what people say.
Do me a favor. Leave the patronizing white guy routine at home. And, because you don't know everything.
I make no promises.
As a matter of fact, you know a little.
I don't know
but
much.
not a lot.
I don't know much.
Vinny's standing by with the music.
On this show, I just have to know more than you. That's the bar.
No, but that's the problem because you never showed
Left versus right. We'll see you next week. Take it away, Vinny Medugno.
Do it, Vinny. Do it.